Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And boy, oh boy, the saga continues again, and this story just keeps unfolding. So let me just go ahead and get into this. Make sure you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, I think we're one of the few platforms out there that has really done a good job really chronicling, that's a tough one, the relationship or lack thereof between Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan. Before The Last Dance came out, I think many of us NBA fans and just casual watchers of the sports believed that Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan had a healthy relationship. They looked like, at the very least, friends. Whenever we would see them publicly, they were always cordial, laughing, joking it up. So I think many of us felt like, okay, these guys are great teammates, they're great friends, and it's nice to see that after all of those championships that they won and all of the history that they made in the NBA, it's great to see that these guys still have, a fantastic relationship. And I even think that Jordan himself felt as if that him and Scottie Pippen were friends, and that in fact Scottie Pippen was his friend. But since the release of the Last Dance documentary or docuseries, however you want to call it, we quickly found out that actually was the furthest thing from the truth. Scottie Pippen really, really got upset of the way he was portrayed in the documentary. And ever since his release, he has gone out of his way to bash and in some cases trash Jordan every opportunity he got. He started off on the Dan Patrick Show. That's really when we really started covering this story. And he basically went on there and called Phil Jackson a racist and basically said that Michael Jordan was doing all of that stuff for the cameras. That's where it started. And from that point on, it has gotten worse, like really, really worse. And recently, a former mutual teammate and mutual friend of the two players, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, Charles Oakley, recently came out, and we chronicled that as well. We covered that as well. Basically said that their relationship right now is beyond repair. That Jordan is never, ever going to speak to Scottie Pippen again. Something that I think really disappointed a lot of NBA fans, right? And a lot of, casual followers of sports in general to hear that Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan relationship is beyond repair. So just when we thought that the dust had finally settled, I was actually doing some research this morning, and I stumbled upon an audio of Scottie Pippen speaking on the Trash Talk podcast, about a 20-minute interview. And Scottie Pippen was asked about why he never won the Defensive Player of the Year award, right? Because we all know that Scottie Pippen is one of the greatest wing defenders in the history of basketball, right? One of the best. And what Scottie said once again surprised me. So for those of you who missed his comments, take a listen to the reason Scottie Pippen gives as to why he never won a Defensive Player of the Year award. Take a listen to that.
And to finish the intro, obviously, to me, one of the biggest lies in the history of the NBA, never won the Defensive Player of the Year. What happened, man? Were the voters drunk or what happened?
No, I think they were too busy watching Michael.
That's a pretty good answer. So
now, I have a few thoughts about this. I think Scottie Pippen, at this point, is probably using this situation as a way to sell books. I think Scottie has realized that wait a minute, whenever I diss Jordan, a lot of people and a lot of eyeballs are going to tune in to understand why Jordan and I are having friction. I think he realizes that that particular relationship is a lightning rod for media and attention. And I think probably, and unfortunately, he's probably using that as a way to sell books because in my personal opinion, I think their relationship went sour even before the release of the Last Dance documentary. We've covered this ad nauseum, right? We've done a bunch of videos, and I'm not going to go through it again and really explain that to you because we've already done it, right? I think, however, he reached his breaking point, or the straw, the proverbial straw on the camel's back, basically broke when the Last Dance documentary came out and he saw the way he was portrayed as being a quitter, quitting on his teammates, that's when I think, the contract situation with the Bulls, with Jerry Reinsdorf and all of that, I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back and really gave him an avenue and an excuse to really express how he truly felt about Jordan. I don't believe that he just had those feelings. For example, in the latest comment that he made, why didn't you win the defensive player? Because too many people were looking at Michael Jordan. So did you just think about that now? Or is that something that you've been thinking about for over a decade, obviously, or a decade and 2 decades or whatever? Obviously, these are thoughts that he had when they were playing. I'm sure this is how Scottie Pippen felt when they were playing. It wasn't like all of a sudden he reached an epiphany. And I think that Scottie Pippen has done more harm than good to his public image ever since he decided that he was going to be going at Michael Jordan publicly. And one of the latest examples of that was when I was recently listening to Draymond Green, I think on the Volume. The show is The Volume, if I'm not mistaken. And Draymond Green, as y'all know, is a defensive stalwart. And he was basically listing the top 5 defenders, in his opinion, in NBA history. And during his explanation, or during his list, he basically omitted Scottie Pippen from the top 5. But I want you guys to take a listen to the reason why he decided to omit Scottie Pippen from the top 5. Take a listen to Draymond Green here, basically explaining why he left Scottie Pippen out of the top 5 defenders of all time. Take a listen to that.
In saying that, Gary Payton, Tony Allen, Ben Wallace, and as much as Ben Wallace was a shot blocker, Ben Wallace played during a time period where they was dumping the ball into the post. And I watched Ben Wallace guard Shaq. I watched Ben Wallace guard David Robinson. I watched Ben Wallace guard Tim Duncan. I watched Ben Wallace guard, the list goes on and on. Like, that's during the time where bigs was like getting the ball and they was posted and like offense was ran through the bigs.
And he was undersized doing so.
Absolutely. So I want people to understand it's not Ben Wallace because Ben Wallace blocks shots. Like, does not make you a great defender because you block some shots. So Ben Wallace, yours truly.
I was wondering if you're going to wait till the end or not.
And I want to go with Scottie, but Scottie been pissing me off with all this stuff he's been doing lately.
All right, so is it Scottie or is it not Scottie?
No, I can't go with Scottie, man.
Okay.
Scottie, come on, Scottie. Like, Scottie's a legend. Scottie a legend. Like, we don't need all that from Scottie. Like, you are a legend. MJ a legend. Like, man, we grew up on Scottie. So I'm a little upset with Scottie right now because Scottie is allowing people to drag his name through the mud, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Feels a little unnecessary.
Like, yeah, I feel like he's allowing people to drag his name through the mud, and I don't like that one bit because Scottie's name shouldn't be dragged through any mud.
Now, I think what Draymond just said, I think is a microcosm of how a lot of people feel. I think this situation has left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. I think a lot of people that truly supported Scottie Pippen have turned on him because of the way this thing is unfolding or the way it unfolded. We read a lot of comments. A lot of people say, hey, Scottie Pippen is one of my favorite players of all time. It's such a shame that he said that. I can't believe that a lot of people, because I think the reason why people feel that way is because those Chicago Bulls created so many special memories in the minds of fans all over the world. We're not just talking about the United States. I mean, the Chicago Bulls, there was nothing like them. They were the rock stars of the NBA, right? They really took the sport to an entire different, if we're talking about globally, right? The viewership numbers were insane. And I think for a lot of people, they're just disappointed that it ended this way. They're like, really? Is this how it's ending? Really? I think that's the ultimate sentiment. And I think personally, it's a shame that it's come to this. But, you can't tell a person how to feel. That's the way the guy feels. And this is just another latest example. Because when I said he's using it to sell a book, the very next thing we cut out the audio, I believe, I'm not sure, he went on to talk about his book. So what I want to know from you guys is, what do you think about this entire situation? Do you think it was necessary? And do you think that, listen, Scottie Pippen could have won some Defensive Player of the Year awards, but, you know, they gave it to Jordan because of his popularity. That really, Scottie was a better defender. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro, wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.